What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you're subscribed so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? We have a gigantic story today. At least I think it's gigantic, not only figuratively, but also with what the news is telling us about this phone and all of that. And then we have a bunch of questions. So let's just dive into the tech news. First, our one and only story today is about the Pixel notebook, aka the Pixel Fold. It's Google Pixel's folding phone, which is going to be a competitor here in America and other places as well to the Galaxy Z Fold 3. I'm extremely excited about this phone. There's some things that might be a little lacking, but overall I'm very, very excited about it. And the information is coming from 9 to 5 Google, and it's talking about a bunch of things about this phone. So first of all, why don't we read the headline? The headline, as you can see, says that this is Google's target price for the Pixel NotePad Foldable phone. And it goes on to say that the foldable phone is presumably going to be on $1,399 in the United States, giving it a $500 price difference between the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel NotePad, and then about $400 cheaper than the Galaxy Z Fold 3. That's a big, big difference, $400 in prices with that phone. To add on to it, they do go into a little bit more detail, saying that it's set to look more like an Oppo Find N, which we've been hearing, more than the Galaxy Z Fold 3. And I found these photos of this nice little comparison on Phone Arena's website, which not only first of all shows them open completely, where you see the 7.1-inch display of the Oppo Find N versus the Z Fold 3 7.6 on the right. You can just see it. It almost looks like it got cut on the bottom part, but it got fatter when they cut the bottom part, or it just looks different. Not good, not bad. Just obviously, because I've never played with an Oppo Find N. I don't know if I love it or hate it, but ultimately you can see they're going to look quite different when unfolded. Then also, here's a little spec comparison real quick between the Oppo Find N and Z Fold 3. The main things I'm looking at are the main display and the external display. Now, we talked about the 7.1-inch on the external display versus the 7.6 on the Z Fold 3. Right below that, you see the external displays with a 5.49-inch display and a 6.2-inch display on the Z Fold 3. And then when they're completely closed and you see the outside displays, I do like the Oppo Find N display better. It's shorter, but it's also much fatter, which is going to be a little bit more usable, I feel like, at the end of the day when you use these phones for video, social media, and everything else that you probably do with it. Also, keep in mind that the Pixel Notepad is rumored to be coming with the Google Tensor chip, which is the same chip that's in the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. And the cameras inside are going to be as old as the Pixel 3, which is kind of old, but you can probably still get some nice photos out of that Pixel 3. They used that camera for quite a while when they did that phone. But that's the information we have so far with the Pixel Fold, Pixel Notepad, whatever you want to call it, whatever you know it by. It's really getting to the point where it's probably months away. I think it's like the April-May timeframe, maybe June, before it's released. So you're looking at a few more months before it's released. And as time goes on, we are definitely going to know more and more and more about this. Before, though, we get to the end of this, I do want to tell you that I think what's going to happen is, I think the way they're cutting the prices, it being $13.99, I do think they'll use a 60 hertz display on the front, just like the Oppo. I think they'll use 120 on the inside. I think obviously they show the cameras being a little bit downgraded, so I don't think you're going to see 4K 60. I think the highest you'll see is 4K 30 frames per second on the video on the front and on the back. Even on the front, I actually think it'll probably only be 1080p on the video. Again, this is stuff I'm speculating about. I could be completely wrong about some of the stuff I'm guessing on, but I think to cut corners, I think they're going to want to downplay some of the specs on here to get it to a lower price range, but still have a really nice performing phone. I don't think the charging will be all that fast. It'll probably be 15 watts or 25 watts. The battery probably won't be all that big. There's going to be some cutbacks to cut the price and the size and the weight of this thing. Your question of the day is, what are you most excited about for folding phones? Is it this new Pixel phone? Is it another phone from Xiaomi or Oppo or somebody else? Is it Samsung's newest one that's coming out later this year? Let me know in the comments down below. For me, right now, right this second, it's definitely the Pixel Notepad is what I'm most excited about. With that said, let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that beat! Shajil Sazad said, do you think they'll do a separate pre-order for the 1 terabyte model of the Galaxy S22 Ultra? That's a really good question. I'm gonna say no. I think they'll allow it to be pre-ordered early, just when you can do all the other phones. So yeah. Ayana Moonchild says, I have a Note 9. It soon won't get security updates, so I'm thinking S22 Ultra. Is that worth a while upgrade, or should I just load a security app onto my Note 9 and keep it a little longer? I love my Note 9 and I like Android 10, but is 12 with 4.0 really better with them taking words off the edge panels? I mean, it's really, for me to go back to something what I have now to a Note 9 or an S9 or something, I would be like, ooh, it feels kind of old. I don't think I would be happy. So I think for you to move from the Note 9, something you're very familiar with, to an S22 Ultra, I think it's gonna feel like a really special, great upgrade. So I would tell you to upgrade. I wouldn't worry about the One UI 4 or anything. One UI 4 is fine, I love it. Brandon Boggs says, Greggles, quick question. If I trade in the S21 for $700, my new phone is $1,300. Do I pay taxes on the whole $1,300 or just on the $600? Oh God, that's a good question. I think it's the amount after the trade-in. So it should be, I could be wrong though. I'm not totally sure. I'm gonna say it's before you trade in. Final answer, but I could be wrong. Weirdo 18 Pools says, I'm using A50 currently. Do you think I should pay month to month when it releases? I mean, you do what you can afford. If you can afford paying it completely off, pay it off. If you can't and monthly works out for you better, then pay it monthly. It's really what you can afford. Shelly Saunders says, is there any Z Fold 3 phone case holders equipped to hold the S Pen Pro? I was excited to get my case from Amazon just to realize my S Pen Pro was too big for it. Please help. I don't know of any cases that hold the S Pen Pro, so I don't think there are. Tom Forster says, hi Greg, I love your videos. I'm really leaning towards the S22 Plus. I love the shape and flat screen. I'm seeing conflicting leaks on the size of the S22 Plus, 6.7 versus 6.55. The look of the S22 Plus appeals to me more than boxy look of the 22 Ultra. I'm planning on upgrading from my Note 10 Plus, but I don't really need / use the S Pen. Can you confirm the size and RAM for the 22 Plus? No, for sure, the RAM's only 8 gigs of RAM. So yeah, it looks like the S22 Plus is gonna have a 6.55 inch display. Question, friend has S8 to trade in, also wants to switch from AT&T to T-Mobile. Will it be better to buy unlocked from Samsung than switch to T-Mo, or a better deal going directly to T-Mo? Much appreciate content and answers. So it's probably gonna be the same. If you're doing everything through Samsung, it's the trade-in values should be pretty much exactly the same. Sometimes the carriers will give you a better trade-in offer. I don't know what T-Mobile's gonna offer. They might end up offering you a better deal to trade in from an older phone such as that. I just don't know, but sometimes it's exactly the same. You would have to wait until the phone actually is announced. JRB's one last time, even if we do get $200 Samsung credit, would it be better to wait a few months when the 22 Ultra goes down in price like the Fold 3 did? Samsung limits you on what you can spend the credits on. You have to spend it all at once, and I have so many accessories already. Take time on the credit. So yeah, I think that if the credits aren't important to you, AKA the free gifts, yeah, you could definitely wait a month or two and you'll see that phone drop probably by $200 or something like that. And then you can save it off the phone rather than just get free accessories. So it just depends what's more important to you at that point. Thanks for your questions. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below with the word question, and we'll see you down the road.